This goes out to you. This goes out to you, and you, and you, and you. This goes out to you. This goes out to you. This goes out to you, and you, and you. Your reign on the top was short like leprechauns as I crush so-called willies, thugs, and rapadons. Get in that ass quick, fast like Ramadan. It's that rap phenomenon, Don Dada. Fuck Papa, you gotta call me Francis M.H. White intake like toast, so iron. Was told in shootouts, stay low and keep firing. Keep extra clips for extra shit. Who's next to flip on that cat with that grip on rap?
Good morning, good morning.
Ain't no telling where I may be.
Set up. I'll leave this music until
at Howard Homecoming with my man Capone drumming fucking something. You should know my stilo. Went from 10 G's for blow to 30 G's a show to orgies with O's I never seen before. So, Jesus, get off the notorious. Mean us before I squeeze and bust. If the beef between us, we can settle it with the chrome and metal shit. I make it hot like a kettle get. You're delicate, you better get who sent you. You still pedal shit. I got more rides than great adventure. Biggie.
How are you gonna do it? Do it.
Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was Papa, don't hit me no more. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was Papa, don't hit me no more. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was Papa, don't hit me no more. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was Papa, don't hit me no more. On your mark, get set. When I spark you wet, look how dark it get when you're marked for death. Should I start your breath or should I let you die? In fear you start to cry, ask why. Lyrically I'm worship, don't front the word sick, you cursed it, but
all right, what's up? What's up, YouTube? What's up, people? What's going on, man? Welcome back. Welcome back. Good to see the same familiar names and I say faces, but profile pics, I guess, on here. Yeah, I know we got FOMC coming up. You're already green. That's good. Down to hang out. Let's hang out. Sounds good, my man. Let me just dig something up on this stream settings. Gonna get some trading in here before FOMC, possibly. Yeah, this looks straight. I was wondering why this was doing this. All right, I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out on the fly. We're good. We got it sent out to the boys in Telegram and Discord. Cool. Logged in. We look good. What's going on, man? Welcome back. I said I was going to do these a little bit less frequently, but I haven't toned it down just yet, man. We're here we are again for another day in the row, getting some trading in. We got FOMC coming up at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard. It is 12:33 p.m. Eastern. We're looking at NASDAQ. Not going to trade through 2 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. afterwards to let the market cool off. You don't really have a lot of time before session close. It might not be the worst power hour to trade. Might be pretty cool. I'll decide if I want to come back for that. But I figured I would take a look now, get a little bit of trading in. I don't really need to watch FOMC on here. If I'm still sitting here, I'll watch it. But you know, I know what's going to happen. The market's going to go crazy. And then, you know, we'll have some impact, usually right at 2 p.m. as the actual, rate drops. And then 2:30 p.m. is the conference. It's actually live. You could watch it. You know, I'm sure it streams on YouTube or somewhere else, just from the Fed. You could watch, them speak or Jerome Powell speak, whoever it is. I think it's usually Powell that's speaking. And the market just hangs on every word and reacts, and price moves up and down. Sometimes it doesn't do too much. Sometimes it goes crazy. Sometimes it reverses the move. It, based on the questions that are being asked and the way that he's answering them, people try to interpret that, or institutions interpret that, and it affects price. So it's just a wild news event. It's usually best for this one just to kind of back out. I'd say this and NFP, bow out gracefully, go do something else. Decide that you want to go for a walk or whatever. I won't go through the list of fun things that you could do instead of trading FOMC. Listen to them talk about sending all of our money to other countries. Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately. So no, I typically don't trade. Like, I don't intentionally trade huge, high impact news events. I mean, you could have fun with a real low, a small position size, maybe scalping back and forth, but I don't really see it working out. The less major ones, sometimes if I like a trading opportunity, I'll take it, and that'll just add to the volatility for me, and it'll play out really nicely quickly, or it'll work against me really quickly. Every once in a while, if I'm on and I know something's coming up, again, not an NFP or an FOMC, I'll just trade through it. I'll do some of the things I talk about. Maybe I'll size down from 2 or 3 or 4 contracts to 1 contract. I'll widen out a stop loss, and I'll just let it play out and see what we get. But that's typically, a lot of prop firms don't allow it. You got to be out before and after news events. Different rules for that, how much time you have to allow before and after, but a lot of firms don't allow it. I've been ranging around for a little bit. Interesting to see what the news. Again, man, it's cool to watch. I would say for the most part, you're just better off not trading any red folder news events. If you just want to have your trade. If you're swing trading, obviously you really don't have that luxury. You just have to adjust for it. But if you're day trading like this on low time frames, usually I think most traders are just better off not trading it. But back to NQ, looking at what we got here. Let me just make this chart a little bit bigger. We'll look at the 5-minute, kind of see what we had going on today. Actually, we'll jump out to the 1 hour, show you what zones I got. Again, free Telegram gets this. You could join. Link in the bio, link in the description of this video. Follow me on Instagram. I send out stuff on there, but free Telegram is the best way to stay updated on everything. I tell you when I'm going live. Anything that I've got that can help you guys out. Top step discounts, when they're giving out free account resets. My levels and stuff like this. My analysis sometimes on Forex pairs, although I've backed off of that. But here's some zones, some support and resistance, supply, demand, whatever you want to call them, order blocks. Based off of previous highs and lows, areas before big impulsive moves, tops and bottoms, just areas on the chart, horizontal levels that I want to pay attention to. We kind of understand where we are on, in this current 1 hour movement. Obviously on the much higher time frame zoomed out, I won't do it, but we were on a big rally, pulled back, and now we've rallied again right here. So what we're looking at, some people have said, because I pay attention to major outlets that talk about high time frame analysis, that we're starting to break this trend down. Maybe this was an upward channel and we're starting to break out from that right now to the downside. But to me, again, this just looks like it's continued to move down, right? If we start to zoom in, we've got lower lows that have been put in, some lower highs. We've broken below pre-market low of the day, low of prior day. We've got that stuff marked out. Obviously, we had this huge dump yesterday, late in the day, after some of it after NYSE session close. If we drop to the 5-minute, take a quick look, we've kind of had this choppy back and forth day. There was some price action early, and then we pushed down pretty hard, pulled all the way back up, big movement back up into the trading range of the day, and then continued down past the opening range all the way right to the pre-market low. Again, this is a nice area that I mark off every day. If you go back and look at my videos, this is what I mark off. Pre-market high. I went back pretty far for this one. I usually don't go back this far, but I wanted to capture all of these highs, use that as a level rather than drawing into the zone. But I mark out pre-market high, the time before 9:30 a.m. Eastern, that price, the range that price is trading in. Here was my pre-market low. You could see real big reaction off of that. Since then, again, we've kind of had this same style, size of movement, push back down, broke below pre-market low with, another big reaction coming back up out of it. So, here we are kind of consolidating right at the moment, which is why I'm not in a massive rush to trade. If we look at TradingView's nice footprint chart, again, this is 1 minute, shows candles, shows a whole lot more information, volume and delta, information on what's going on between the behind the candles, maybe within the candles, some buying and selling pressure. We could see a stacked imbalance up here that really hasn't come up and be tapped into, although that got pretty dang close. Again, I use these kind of as, discretionary zones as well. Not exactly pinpoints, but you can see sometimes how price does trade back and forth across these areas. We've got stacked imbalance, obviously, to the upside here. A lot of buyers stepped in. You can see that on the candles. Big impulsive move, big wick on the 5-minute where buyers took control, pushed price higher, pushed through stacked selling imbalances here. So here we are, kind of consolidating again, putting in some volume right here, deciding whether this is just going to continue, and we're going to follow this nice, kind of descending channel, downward trend line, whatever you want to call it, this downtrend back down towards pre-market low, and then maybe past it and into this zone. Again, we've got a little bit of time before FOMC, so I wanted to make the most of my trading day. Outside of news and doing stuff like this, I stick to first hour of the day. I like the time after 9:30 a.m. open the most, right about 9:40 to about 10:40. That hour is pretty solid, provides some nice volatility, some nice trading opportunities for me. And then right around the last hour of the day, usually jumping on around 2:30 p.m., doing some analysis, figuring out what was going on for the day if I wasn't watching, and then getting a little over an hour of trading time in before NYSE session close. So, again, we've got our analysis. We understand the downtrend that we're in. If we look at the zoomed out 1 minute, we can see these trends within that larger trend where we've pushed down, pull back up, push down. If this is going to maintain this market structure and follow the close, more zoomed in market structure and price action on the 1 minute, I'd be looking for this to continue down. There's not a ton of selling pressure. I also look at this chart again, really zoomed in. You can see even more detail. You can see delta. I like to look at this number down here. Shows the difference between buying and selling that went on within each candle. Here we go. We got a stacked imbalance forming to the downside. Whether or not this will actually stick, we'll see. If it trades back up through it or we get buyers to step in, this goes right away. This doesn't actually print on the chart successfully until the candle closes and then then moves on. But this is looking good to the downside right now. Probably shouldn't be. I don't like to trade before I get my bearings and understand where I'm at and what I'm looking at, and start to understand where we are for the day. Do my analysis. So I won't say that I'm missing trades here, but this looks good to the downside. Again, we've kind of got this market structure here that we could see somewhat of a support area that was put in. Price reacted off of this multiple times. Over the last few minutes here. We're on the 1 minute, so this is around 30 minutes of time. Lower highs that put in, and now we're breaking below that. Not a ton of force. This is obviously some sellers stepping in. You can see it in the candle as well. This looks like it wants to fall, but I'm going to hang on just for a minute, let this develop a little bit more. Maybe we pull back up into this area. Don't break above it, and that will be a nice entry signal for me. But I will check. I'll check the chat. If you guys got questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. If you're back here hanging out, trading with me, I appreciate you being here, man. It's fun to do these lives, fun to talk to you guys, fun to see the same names and faces on here, and hopefully provide you guys some value for free. Let you see how I attack the markets, show you the good, the bad. You saw me yesterday wipe $1,000 from an eval account. That happens. So I'm waiting for a sell entry here. I think this is going to come up, clear up this stacked imbalance. There it is, almost doing that, and then continue down. I just want to see if we get a little bit more of a pop-up.
Order filled.
I'm going to start with one contract here, trading kind of light. This is another Top Step eval account, a fresh one. I could log in and show you a different one later that I had from this morning. Nice morning. Ended, had some back and forth trading, some really nice wins. and then some losses that took back some profits. Ended, I think, just over $1,000 on the morning on another Top Step eval account. So solid morning. That was nice after giving some money back in the afternoon. Won't say I made too many mistakes on my end, not holding on to the profit that I did make a little bit earlier in the trading session, but it's just the way it goes sometimes. But ended profitably, worked out nice. Again, we'll see if I can take this one into profit. I'm going to trade small, like we talked about yesterday, building up that cushion. Where it is, up in the top corner, you could see it. The daily P&L is at 0 for this one right now. So if you start to build up a little bit of profit cushion, you could take on a little bit more risk. If you don't, you just take consecutive losses. You're only risking, $250, $200 to your stop out. You could take a number of consecutive losses and really not worry too much on a 150K account. So we don't have sellers stepping in just yet. Again, I got my stop about 50 ticks away. I'm going to just try to get in on this trend to the downside. Again, we saw some sellers step in right here, break below this little level of support that was put in on the 1 minute, anticipating this trend continuing to the downside. Here was its chance to move higher, put the lower low in here. If this structure is going to continue, we want to be sellers here. So see if this works out. I'm probably not going to be holding these trades for huge home runs. I'm going to go for small wins, small base hits. That's the term that everybody likes to use. I don't really watch baseball, but that's the fun term. So we don't have to get massive risk rewards on these trades. We'll especially again early on, we'll try to get a little bit of profit rolling. This way, if we decide to take on a little bit larger risk, we're working with profit, and we can do that without really risking getting close to like a $3,000 daily drawdown or anything like that. This can kind of be boring. It can be slow at the start. But again, talked about that yesterday. Came in pretty aggressive on some of these just because the dollar amount of the account is pretty low. But I think the most successful way, if I really had to start to narrow down the risk management approach that I want to use on these, it's going to be starting out small on them, taking your trades, building up profit on the day if you can, and then taking on progressively more risk, kind of a dynamic risk management approach. Doesn't help for me so much that I'm switching back and forth between different accounts. I'll just approach them as I approach them, and that'll be that. Daily's bearish, in my opinion. Yeah. I mean, my gut tells me, my intuition tells me, like, we're going lower, right? Like, gnarly down day yesterday, tough month. We came off those highs. So this is working out nicely. I'm going to let this run for a bit. If it starts to come back against me, I may close out somewhere and draw down before my stop loss. I try to narrate what I'm doing on this, but, I'll keep you guys updated. I'll explain before and after. If I don't narrate it clear enough, you could always ask me in the chat. I find that I do trade better just by the results. I trade better when I'm not trading live. I think that's because I'm speaking all of my thoughts and trying to articulate what I'm doing and when I'm doing it, rather than reacting a little bit quicker on my gut intuition. Not applying as much of that. So I'm going to be cognizant of that, try to be aware of that, and trade the way that I trade, whether I'm live or not live. So if I don't say something doesn't make sense, you say, why did you do that? I'll explain it. But again, there is discretion here in my strategy. There is intuition. There is the, that subjective level of what I'm seeing and just making a decision based on that. I should be able to articulate it clearly, because that's the whole point. You want to be able to learn here, understand what I'm doing, maybe be able to utilize some of this style and approach in your own trading. So I'll do my best to do that. It doesn't look terrible right now. Would have been nice if this momentum to the downside continued. Price is still moving down. If I had to ask myself right now, do I want to be in a buy or a sell? I want to be in a sell. So, here I am letting this one run. Again, price starts popping up aggressively above this high, this high, this high. I may cut it real quick. One other thing I'll make you guys aware of, I have Trade08 open on the side. I've been talking about some of the lag that I experienced through TradingView. So I have been opening and closing and cutting positions from Trade08. You'll see it all happen here in pretty much real time. But if I go to close this out, I'll do it on Trade08. It'll happen quickly, and you'll just see the order disappear and the P&L show, whatever the closing P&L was right on here. But it's something I've worked on this morning. I can trade right from Trade08 through the side while charting on TradingView, have it pop up on TradingView, but actually just be entering and exiting orders on Trade08. So let's see if we break below this low. This is kind of moment of truth. Would like to see a break and a close below if this is going to continue. If we don't get, there we go. There's a break below. 30 seconds left on this candle. If we don't close below, I might look to duck out of this one. If we turn right around from here, start finding support and breaking above, I might like to duck out of it and just try again later in the market structure. But 200, 250 bucks on this trade would be nice. That's kind of what I'm shooting for. One nice break of these lows and a push down. I'm going to cut it. Again, pretty low risk to reward. Nothing super exciting, just building up some profit. So nice candle to the downside. There's a break below. Can we get one nice big push out of this? Nice.
Order filled.
Go ahead and cut it right there, guys. 210 bucks. Close to that 1-to-1. Again, going just for some small base hits. This is this is pretty whippy price action. Somewhat of a dangerous day to be trading. So I'm going to build up my profit if I can, and continue. If we pull back up and whip above, I'll look to enter on a retest. This thing may just absolutely dump from here, but I'm going to protect profits and build up small profits on the way to starting to build a little bit of a cushion on this one. That's my game plan. But if you got questions, feel free, ask them in the chat. Thanks for being here. We got a few people on. Why do I have a warning from YouTube? It's saying my stream. That's fine. Whatever, YouTube. Don't yell at me, man. Just trying to stream. Just trying to do my thing here. Greetings, man. Greetings. Good to see you guys back on. Trading again here. NQ. Little top step eval account. Going to take it pretty light to start. That's what I was describing earlier. Kind of a dynamic risk management approach. It's a fancy way to say I'm going to start out small and increase if we go into profit, and cut myself off if I go into drawdown. Yeah, glad I closed when I did. Took a little bit of profit. This may turn right around from here and be providing a nice entry signal. I'm looking at this stacked and balanced. Again, utilizing TradingView's footprint chart has been pretty cool. This looks like it wants to follow this nice channel to the downside, but I felt this one getting a little overextended. My entry wasn't fantastic, at the break of these lows. So I feel like a wick up is possible. We'll see if we get that and then we start to turn, or if this just continues to dump from here and trend down. That'll be fine. So we'll see what we get from here. If you're just hopping on, welcome. Trading NQ, what's up, man? What's up? Good to see you guys. Trading NQ futures, NASDAQ futures on TradingView. This is Trade08. That's the broker that I use with TopStep. It's a prop account. If you don't know what TopStep is, they're a futures funding firm. You purchase a challenge from them. It's a one-step challenge to get funded. They've got accounts from 50,000 to 150,000. You can trade multiple of them, but that's what this is here for transparency. It's a 150K eval account. But yeah, really cool. I mean, I'll talk about that. I don't know why I hopped on their live. What was I doing on their site, on their top step? Anyway, I made it onto their live just to see what it was, and they had that bell to bell giveaway. You guys might know what that is, but Top Step has a live stream going like all day. It's very long. But they do giveaways on it, and it's not like you enter to win. It's kind of like if you're on there and you fill out the forms, you get whatever it is they're giving away. So they do something called bell to bell, where you have to check in multiple times throughout the day. Or yesterday, you just needed one to check in, and they give you a free account reset. Meaning, if I'm trading this account super aggressively or not, and I blow it, they give you a free reset, which is typically the price of the account. So if this is $150 for the 150K account, it's $150 to reset it. So the reset's worth $150. I also heard they do fire drills, which is kind of like the same thing. It's just a giveaway. Maybe it's a reset. Maybe it's an actual 50K account, stuff like that. Obviously, it's their marketing ploy to get everybody on their live streams for forever. I mean, cool by me. It's something I might do in the future. Say, hey, man, you got to log on, and here's a code, and I'll give you something away, a discount, something like that, to the free stuff. But I thought it was cool. I ended up with a free reset from them from yesterday, so that's cool. I also have been noticing that they give new guys that go and sign up, a 50% off the first reset. So if you buy a 150K account, it's $149 with a discount. You could use my discount. Code is in the link is in the description of this video. There's no code. It's an affiliate link, so you can be aware of that. But it's like $120. When you go to reset it, if you blow it and you want to try again, it's typically the price of the account. They give you half off. Everybody that I've talked to that's signed up with a new account has gotten an email like a couple days after starting that they have received a 50% off coupon. Watching this come right into this stacked imbalance here, maybe we get a reaction. This looks like a good shot for a second entry. It's also, right at the lows here. Yeah, I'm going to wait to see if we stay below this area, if we're just retesting and then we come down. Or if we start to push through, I'll look to take a long. But again, I'm going to play this pretty aggressively. I'm going to be trading one contract, 50 tick stop loss on NASDAQ. We're talking like 200 to $300 of risk, somewhere in between there. 50 is 250. If I leave it right there, I usually drag it to a point that makes sense. So my game plan is to be pretty aggressive. I don't have to wait for some kind of amazing once-in-a-lifetime trading setups to occur. I take whatever fits my approach. This is fitting an entry right now. I just am applying some intuition and experience to say that I just want to wait a little bit longer to see if this pops back up through this zone, or if this indeed is a nice reaction. And here would have been my perfect entry for a sell to the downside. So far, this would have been working out okay. Would have been a nice 30, 40 tick profit right off the bat, but not sold on it just yet. What's up, guys? What's up? Do I use personal equity? Yeah, so I have live trading. I have live accounts that I trade with my own capital. Honestly, in the futures market, I haven't done much of it at all. I have all of my stuff still in U.S. regulated Forex brokers. Again, when it comes to larger capital, larger amounts, I'm, pretty cautious about where I go and throw, large amounts of money, like tens of thousands of dollars. I like to do it with well-regulated brokers that I have experience with. So I built that up in the Forex market. Again, all of the downsides that I talk about with U.S. regulated Forex brokers, as far as them not being very advantageous to trading itself. One thing I can say is the ones that I have used, the one really, had been very reliable. They also, you could figure it out just by me talking about it. They had, see, look, this would have been a really nice entry, and my intuition was wrong. Here would have been the nice entry. Yeah, again, just played that one a little bit too cautiously. Let's say I started with my 50 tick stop. This would have been 50 ticks profit right here. Would have been a nice 250 bucks. Probably would have been targeting a break of the lows. If I'm being honest with myself, maybe went stop loss to break even around now. Where is this entry point? Where was this zone? Right here. This stacked imbalance right here on footprint, on TradingView's footprint chart. Again, I won't use the word footprint too loosely here, or else I'll get yelled at. But this stacked imbalance, which was a lot of selling pressure right out of the zone, and right at the bottom of this, little support zone that I'd say on the 1 minute. Again, I don't mark this stuff up because it's too quick on the 1 minute. It's not as strong, in my opinion, to be marking every little support and resistance zone that you can find. But that would have played nicely. Yeah, live capital, man. It's cool to use. It's awesome. You want to make sure, in my opinion, that you're with a good broker. You're with a broker that you trust with your money. You can have money quickly withdrawn and processed back and forth to your bank account. At least that's my, preference. The Forex broker that I was using, this was leading into that they had a program, active trader program, or whatever the name of the program was, where if you had a certain amount of money with them, they gave you an APR. If you had a certain amount of money or you did a certain volume of trades, they paid you a monthly interest, which was nice. I think it was 4.5%. So I still have money in live Forex accounts that I had been swing trading pretty actively. If you watch the Telegram channel, I was posting really up until this week Forex analysis on the 1 hour, the 4 hour. I was swing trading with that as I backed off and transitioned into futures. But since coming into futures, I've really been focusing on the prop account stuff. I think it's what everybody wants to see. It's what most guys, I talk to a ton of guys through Instagram. People email me. I end up speaking to a lot of traders, and they're almost all trading prop accounts. They don't have the capital that they want to be able to turn a profit on, or they just don't want to allocate it. They're trading these prop accounts. So that's reason number one. I end up talking about this on almost every live. Reason number two is it's great if you could leverage someone else's money. Very limited downside risk and ability to make a lot of money. Downsides of it, of course, you're operating in an arena with a whole bunch of new rules. They have drawdown rules. So here we go with this not working out. But they've got drawdown rules. They've got consistency rules. Payouts and profit splits, all that type of stuff is obviously a downside over trading your own live capital if you have it to trade. But yeah, really focusing on prop accounts. As I get more comfortable with brokers like Tradeovate and maybe Ninja Trader, some of the big names is usually just who I stick with in any space that I move into. Maybe I look at going with larger size live accounts. But so far, the prop stuff has been pretty cool. Their rules aren't terrible. It seems like they actually pay out. That's my biggest concern. Like, even if I, blow accounts or don't make it to a payout, as long as it's me making the mistakes and, actually blowing the account, like, I'm fine with that. It's when you trade profitably, which is what happened to me with Forex prop firms. I had either been taking challenges and had the rug pulled on me, or actually been trading the funded accounts, go to request a payout, follow all the rules, and then they change a rule or they just make up some BS, or the way they apply the rule, they just don't pay you out and they say you're screwed. So futures prop accounts have been pretty cool so far. That was a long thought to get to. Thanks for the invite. Yeah, man. Good to see you guys here. Good morning, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Consistency, a big one. I've seen use an excuse not to pay. Yeah, man. So here, I'll give you the straight up example, right? I'll talk about it. I don't care. The last one that I dealt with, which I had a pretty good feeling was too good to be true, was an HFT firm, right? A high frequency trading firm that allows you to use an HFT bot to pass. I got a bot from some legitimate guys that do a whole lot more than just a stupid trading bot for passing prop firms, but I got one. It worked well on the cheapest account. I tried it on the 200K account. The video's on my YouTube if you want to see me passing the 200K Cortana account with an HFT bot. It's fun. So you get to the funded phase. Again, this is just one experience. There were multiple other firms that I had bad experiences with that I could talk about later. Cortana 200K account, right? Pass it with the bot. I got a bunch of people asking me to use the bot. Asking me to pass their accounts, offering to pay me $100, $200. I said no. I didn't take any money. I didn't pass anybody else's account because I had this gut feeling that it was too good to be true. And even if I follow all their rules, they still weren't going to pay me out. Even if the bot works and you get to the funded account and you trade it well. They have a number of sketchy rules that they were failing people for and not paying them out, a number of them. But the one that they got me on was the consistency rule. Here's the two scam-like tactics that Cortana used on me. And you can, this is my opinion, and you can, process this in whatever way you want. And I'm going to talk freely about whatever firm or company that I work with. And most of the time I got a really good review or just a modest review. But this one was bad. Number one, they changed the rule after I had purchased the account and traded it, passed the account and traded it. They changed it from a 50% consistency rule to a 33% consistency rule, meaning no single trade could be more than 50% of your total profit. They changed that from 50 to 33. So right off the bat, I don't stand a chance. If you're going to change rules, and especially not alert anybody or email anybody and say, hey, I know you purchased an account that you passed and you've been trading profitably and everything's good, but we changed the rules, so you're pretty much screwed. I can't follow rules if I don't know they exist. Nobody can. So that's step number one. Number two, the way they applied that rule was very, very strict and in a way that made it, for me, impossible to ever receive a payout. So I traded the account. I'm watching this as well, kind of consolidating here. I will say, I know I yap on these live sessions. I'm watching. That's why I'm not staring at the camera. Kind of a consolidation here. If we start to continue down, maybe I start to look for another sell. This looks like it wants to pop up. Entry would have been nice for 50 ticks like we were talking about before, but now this is consolidating and looks like it wants to trail up. We're getting close to that 2 p.m. time frame, so I got about another 50 minutes to 50, so a little bit of time to get some trading in before that, and then I'll bow out gracefully. Don't want to even be close to 2 o'clock with a trade on. So the way they applied that consistency rule, I traded the account, I had profits and loss, and then I ended up in profit, right? After all of the rules following, everything looked good, made it to profit, requested a withdrawal, filled out all of the information. Not only did they apply that 33% consistency rule, they applied it in the way that whatever your profit was that you were requesting. So let's say you took 100 different trades, and between your profit and loss, you made $10,000. Out of the trades that they cherry pick that add up to $10,000, your largest trades, regardless of whatever your losses were, regardless of all of your other trades, if there's one single trade that's more than 33%, more than 1/3 of the profit that you're requesting, you can't you don't qualify for a payout. So if you trade the account conservatively, the way that you trade a normal account with profits and losses, it's not being applied the way that these futures firms apply it and that other firms apply it, where it's your biggest day, your biggest trading session. It's an individual trade. Another way that they almost ensure that you can't follow that rule is you can't break up your trades. If I'm trading NAS 100 in the CFD market or US 30 with a Forex prop firm, they have a trade stacking rule, or at least that firm did, where you can't have more than 2 trades in the same direction at any given time. So maybe you would scale into and scale out of trades, and that would help you breaking up of your individual positions and not having one massive position. No, not going to happen. So for me, those firms that are doing that type of changing of rules and applying this style of consistency rule and a trade stacking rule, impossible to get a payout. The only way I see it happening is you pass the account or use an HFT to pass the account, and you take 2 trades and you break them up 50-50 each, and they're both profitable, and you take no losses. Maybe you hit everything perfect, but it's just unrealistic for most people. So that's my experience with HFT Forex firms. Again, I got a number of other terrible experiences with Forex prop firms, but would not recommend them to my worst enemy at all. If you're looking to give money away, just go donate it somewhere. So that's kind of what's going on with the Forex prop firms. I'd also heard just person after person after person tell me that even they followed every single rule. It wasn't consistency. It wasn't drawdown. They traded everything profitably. They told them that you used too many IP addresses. You violated their rule where you can't have like more than one single IP address or 2 IP addresses, something like that. So guys would trade from their laptop and their phone, right? There's nobody else managing the account. And they told them they violated it, and then support wouldn't follow up and say what IP addresses or how many. They would just not pay out. So a bunch of BS. But outside of all of that, for that specific instance, they're getting regulated. MetaTrader 4 is pulling their licenses. Obviously, the U.S. does not want U.S. clients to be able to trade CFDs, which are illegal in the U.S., contracts for difference, and they're making it available on their prop firm. So I just don't see a future for that, at least for U.S. traders. I really do not. I think it will be very, very regulated, the way that U.S. Forex brokers are regulated with, pretty aggressive rules and regulations. First in, first out rules that don't allow for hedging. All of the things that apply in the U.S. regulated Forex market. So that's why so many Forex guys, myself included, move over to futures. Yeah, man. 2 hours. Yeah, 45 minutes. I'm sorry. 1 hour at 2 p.m. 45 minutes. 2 p.m. Eastern, right? I'll pull it up. $2 p.m. Eastern for USD, federal funds rate and FOMC statement. And then following that at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, we have FOMC press conference. That's what we got going on today. Still falling here on NASDAQ. This does look like it wants to work out. This did look like it would have been a very nice trade. Entry way up here on a candlestick. Again, I didn't look for another sell because this type of consolidation and price action market structure it's just not lining up for me, telling me this is the time to go ahead and sell. I am watching the chart, and I think right now it's making a case to move down to pre-market low or to go and put a fresh low in for the day. Don't have an entry, don't have a sell on this one yet. I really won't, even if it breaks below this low. I'll just have to wait. If we get a nice break below here, and then a pull back up somewhere to, above this low that was put in, this set of lows, this kind of price action consolidation, maybe that gives me an entry, a chance to structure risk, but not just yet. Not just yet. Gotcha. You're in Europe. I hear you, man. Yeah. So, yeah, man, trading these eval accounts. Look, in my personal opinion, it's harder. It's harder to trade them profitably. But it's obviously a much lower barrier for entry for guys. Get started with $50, $150 for the big boy account. When you pass it, you pay an activation fee. If you have to reset it, you have to pay again. If it takes you more than a month, you have to pay again. So it's not just that low fee, but you can scrounge that up. You can learn trading on demo and then potentially trade profitably. So that's really what I've been challenging myself to do here. It's a nice selling pressure coming in. We'll see if this continues. my opinion, it's easier if I say, here you go, XYZ person, here's 10 grand. Go ahead and make, $1,000 on this or $2,000 on this. You put a position on, you don't have to worry about daily drawdown. You don't have to worry about consistency. You don't have to worry about, max contracts or sizing or time of day or news. You trade however you want to trade pretty much within the broker's rules and regulations. And, it's easier to turn a profit that way. It's also easier to blow all of that money. But with a large amount of capital, it's much easier to turn a small profit. That's just the math behind it. So here we are messing with Top Step eval accounts, seeing what we can do. Yeah, I'm just not seeing it right now, guys. I'd like to take another trade. I'd like to get some action going. I just don't have it setting up for me. This is just this nice slow trickle down, and we might not get much before 2 p.m. I'm debating whether I want to wrap this up early and come back after like 2:33 for power hour, last hour of the day. But we got some people on, man, and I appreciate you being here for sure. If you're just jumping on, links in the description, links in the bio, free Telegram where I post all this stuff when I'm going live, discounts for everything, how to trade with me live, get real help with your trading if you're interested in that. Back down to the lows. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get one, guys. Again, I'm pretty aggressive with it, but this is dicey. Coming out of here and holding a trade would have been the play, or taking this sell right up here. That would have played nicely, but again, I probably would have either been closed out just at 1-to-1 like I did on the first one, or a little less than 1-to-1, or stop to break even if I let it run. So I can't say that I missed out on this. I probably wouldn't capture it. Again, let's see if we just tap back into this area. Might look for another sell back down towards pre-market low, just to jump in on it. But I would look for an entry, something like this, pull back up and then continuation down. But if you got questions, feel free. Trading questions, ask them in the chat. Happy to answer to the best of my abilities. Trying to get my... Ooh, there's seller stepping in. So now we got a different play for me. We got aggressive selling and... looking for a sell on this. I'm watching sellers step in. It wasn't really a big negative delta, even though we got that big that stacked imbalance. It's kind of just somewhat low volume, but this does look like it wants to drop. Let's see how this plays from here. I like this for shorts. I think it's going to pull through. I just don't know if we're going to come all the way back up here, 30, 40 ticks, and my stop loss would be right above here. I'm going to wait to see if we pull back up and then maybe try a sell. Again, we reacted here earlier, so this is an important level. But I see this coming back down to contest this low, and that would provide a nice trading opportunity for me. I just want to see if we tap back into this area here, and then I can try it with a stop above somewhere up here. That's the play right now. That's the only play I have going on right now. This might dump, and I might just miss it right from here. It might also just pop right through this area. So here comes a little bit of the push up, kind of flat, consolidating price action right now. Do we tap into that a little bit higher? A little bit more, and I'll give it a shot. I might come up and contest this high and just break right above that. I think it's actually most likely to do that now that I'm looking at it. Where this stacked and balanced zone is, I think it's likely just to come up right above here and continue down. I'm going to wait for that. If I miss it, I miss it, but that will give me a really nice stop loss where it can come anywhere up into this zone and not take me out. We be patient, and we miss trades on the way to finding the good trades. So there's the push up. That's going to be clearing the entire stacked imbalance almost just a tick higher, and it's to the area that I want. Oof. Okay, that's way too much buying pressure for me. Blew through the zone. Could try a sell from right up here. Dangerous play. My trading view is lagging. I don't know why. But I'm watching it on Tradeovate.
Order filled.
I'm trying it from up here. Very dangerous play. This may go poorly quickly. But I'm looking at it tapping into this zone here that I was looking at. Would have been stopped out way, way down here. But I'm looking at this to be now a quick reaction and then a continuation down. But I'm likely to, if this goes against me, it'll be very, very quick, which it is. And I may take the quick stop out on this. Yep, little under $250 of risk. So risking some of the profit. I'll come back into drawdown a little bit with this one if this doesn't play. But I'm going for the quick wick up. And after a move like this, if this is indeed just a nice quick pull back, this will be the dump. So that's why I entered quickly on that buying pressure. Again, fairly risky trade. If it doesn't work out, which it doesn't look like it's going to, it's not turning here for me. It's a quick stop out. Just a tick away from my stop level, which is right at break even for the day. So again, risk and profit on this one, but
Stop
yeah,
filled.
there it is. Didn't play nice with me. So let's see what we get from here. I'm watching. I also don't like how TradingView is lagging, so I may have to figure something out here. I still think this has the potential to wick right back down, but we are getting close to that FOMC deal. Yeah, what's up? Why are we lagging so much? Why are we lagging so much? Getting close to that 2 p.m. time frame. If I have room for one more, it'll be one more. I'm going to wait to see if this does what I thought it was going to do and just whip back down, which is what I was trying to capitalize on with that sell. Again, waiting for it to tap into this area here to take the sell. I didn't play out. Again, risky to be selling on strong buying pressure like that. But now it's too late for me to be selling right up here and taking another FOMO entry. I'm going to see if this continues, maybe pulls down, and then continues to push up, and price wants to rally before this this release, or I was just too early with my entry, and we watch this come all the way back down and sell off, which is fine either way. But I'll be looking for the only play here really is a buy entry if. Which is against the whole like days trend. But if this looks like it wants to continue this pop up, we get a push back down, and then some continuation on the upside. Could try a buy back towards the VWAP, the low of prior day, the stacked imbalance here. Just this area that looks like it could be challenged. These highs here and highs from earlier in the day. Let's see. I'm going to wait for buying pressure to come in to try this one if we get a chance. Okay, fine now. Rhythmic lagging. Yeah, man, I don't know what's up with that. I was watching TradingView lag. I mean, I got fast internet, fast system. I was speaking a couple days yesterday or the day before about the lag between like entering and exiting positions on Tradeovate and TradingView. But that's different. That's just TradingView lagging, where the candles are showing up like late compared to what I'm looking at for real-time data on Tradeovate, which I don't like at all. Looks okay now. Right back up to the area that price has checked out recently a number of times. So this is obviously a zone. If we're looking at just tops and bottoms, areas where price has reacted pretty nicely. If it starts to push up from here, I think we've got room for a buy. I tried the reaction too low and took the stop out on the sell already, so I'm not so inclined to try it again. If this continues to push back down, there's still room for it. It's not the best way to structure risk because I wouldn't get a stop above this level, so I'm not so inclined to take that. We'll be patient, see if we can't get another trade on this one, and wrap it up before FOMC. I might come back and do could very well clear all those previous wicks. Yeah, I hear you. So here's buyers coming in. I might come back for the last hour of the day, see what the market looks like. I think it can be sometimes a little boring after a huge move and kind of hard to trade. All right, so now we're going to wait to see. Is this going to just be a fake out and we're going to come back down? Or are we going to start this push up? Don't have buyers stepping in yet. Obviously, looking at price action, looking at footprint, looking at candle deltas. It's going to try for it. If I had a buy all the way up here, I would really want to stop down below this area. And it's not unachievable. Yeah, this looks like it wants to go. This looks like it wants to move up. Not an entry for me just yet, though. This is kind of the breakout entry. Let's just wait and see. Bunch of low resistance. Yeah. Yeah, you know, again, this could just turn into just choppy back and forth price action before this 2 o'clock time frame. I could see a quick pop up to VWAP and these highs. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Again, challenging day to trade for sure. Like, don't get me wrong. You know, pre and post really high impact news events like FOMC, NFP, not easy days to trade. Yeah, this zone is holding up pretty nice. Tempted to try it with a pretty tight stop. 50 tick will get me down below this low. We come back down a little bit higher, and this trading right at this zone without price falling, I might try it. I may miss it waiting. This may be the start of a pop coming up pretty soon. I'm going to try it from right
Order
here.
filled.
I'm going to go stop just below this candle. Really tight. If it plays nice, I'll get a quick pop up to VWAP. I like the pressure. I like that it's tried to come back down into this level, and we just see price getting forced higher. It's, you know, breaking above these highs, so a little bit of a breakout trade. Again, I'm not leaving much room at all for this to come back down. I'm going right below prior bar low, which may take me out and still be in this uptrend, but I am going for a quick, what do we got? 45 tick move to the upside, right to that VWAP line. Somewhere right here is a 1-to-1. See if it plays nice with me. See if I catch a win before FOMC. Or if not, I take the stop out on one contract. Again, playing this one light, trying to build up a buffer. Again, this stuff can kind of be kind of boring. You know, I'm not trading big size. I'm not going to catch these big, you know, $1,000 moves doing this. But you take the small stop outs on the way to trying to build up. And, you know, you end up with 250, 500, 750 bucks. And then you can start trading, you know, 2 contracts, 3 contracts, that type of stuff. So let's see if I can get a quick pop up before 2 o'clock, because we are getting closer. Love your streams. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you being on here, man. It's fun trading with you guys. Again, I try to show you everything, show you the good, show you the bad. I'm looking over to the side here because I'm watching this on Tradeovate, which isn't lagging as much. Because I want to just cap this quick as soon as I get into some profit here. All right, I'm going to test something on Tradeovate as I'm doing this, guys. Nice. Okay, that pops up from there. That's cool. I could set limited stop orders straight from Tradeovate. It crosses right over to TradingView clearly. I don't have my levels and everything marked up on this chart, but I can close out. I could set limit orders. I could set buy and sell orders. Let me get rid of that. How do I get rid of that? Get out of my way, arrow. What the hell? Oh, no. How do I get back rid of it?
Order filled.
Oh, that's me out of the position. playing with Tradeovate on the side. That's fine. That's my TP. But honestly, I was looking at adding another position in here. Getting rid of that limit order and then moving the limit order. It's funny. I'm gonna do it way down here. Just I know we're getting close to FOMC, but just so I could see it how it works on TradingView. If I put a sell stop, and then I want to get rid of it. There we go. Yeah. So we're learning together, guys. We're going to learn together on Tradeovate. Okay. So profitable trade that worked out well. That was about a 1-to-1 closeout. Came back up, popped into this VWAP line. If I'm being completely honest with you, I wasn't intending to close it right there. I was messing with that limit order. I wanted to get rid of it. Then I was going to set another limit order higher up in the area that I actually wanted to, but that's all good. One thing I notice, if I do place buy and sell orders on Tradeovate over to the side and not directly through TradingView with a stop loss, one doesn't cancel the other. So I could have limit orders and stop orders and everything, and unless I'm setting them to be canceled when one of them fills, the other one will sit on there. So like, for example, if I place a, how do I describe this? If I place an order with a stop loss tied to it and a limit order tied to it, when one of the stop or the limits get hit, the other one gets taken off the chart, gets canceled. If I place an order and then I start placing limits and stop orders, stop losses and take profit or orders, when one gets hit, the other one doesn't get hit. They're not tied to each other. You can have buy and sell, limit and stop orders wherever you want on the chart. So it's another interesting thing to consider in your trading. So yeah, could have hang on to that one a little bit longer, and if I just was playing around and didn't close it out, would have caught another 20 pips or so. up to that VWAP line, but that's fine. Let's go over that trade real quick before I wrap it up. We first sell failed on the way back down. So I had a win, a loss, and a win, and I'm back up $210. Not a whole lot, but win, loss, and win for about 1R. What I'm risking is 50 ticks, and I'm dragging stop loss up a little bit. Price came back up to this zone, right, that we were looking at being challenged a bunch of times. I thought that this was going to be a strong, reaction right around this pre-market low, all the way up to clear up, anybody stops anything that was up here, and then a push back down. That's why I took the sell. I had been watching this stacked imbalance here, this area of lows right here that I figured price was going to come up above these highs and continue. This was much larger price action, took me right out. Now, once we got up here, we immediately broke above. We got a lot of buying pressure. Obviously, you can see there's volume here. This is a nice impulsive move. Came above these highs. This is a nice break and retest, right? If I draw this, let's say I cherry pick this zone. This area of price action, all of these lows, these highs that were tested before and after nice big impulsive moves. Up here was used as support. Over here it was used as resistance. And over here we broke above it, came back to retest, and then we started to push up. Again, I was sitting here watching price action pull back down, come up here, put some wicks in. This looked like some rejection right here. We didn't have candles closing above, but we wicked back down real quick and then started to push up. Can't remember exactly where I entered. You guys go back and watch it on the live here. These are recorded. You go back and watch them on YouTube if you like. And took the quick buy with a stop really just below the prior candle, right? I think I had a stop right down here, and I took the buy up here. If this was going to fail, I would have been taking right out. Can it come back down here and then continue moving up? Sure, that's fine. But I'm buying this, buying pressure with buyers moving in to push this thing higher. I want to see price move up right away. Trade worked out very nicely. We got it. Closed it a little bit early, messing with trade of 8 on the side, messing with how the entering and exiting and canceling all of market orders and set orders works. But I'm gonna get better with that. I'm probably gonna be trading on the side with TradingView and just have it connected to trade with trade of 8, and have it connected to TradingView. So I don't deal with any lag, but you guys can see exactly what's going on here. There's already a lag on YouTube, so I'm not worried about that. Yeah, pushed right back up to the VWAP line. Again, this is not so reliable to me personally, especially later in the day. I find it gets more lagging later in the day. Stuff impacts it less and less as more and more trading goes on. But we also got a reaction right off of the low wick, which is the low of prior day. If we go out to the daily chart, you'll understand where I get this level from. Here's the previous daily candle. Here's previous daily high. I call it the high wick because I come off the wick of the candle. Here's the low. This would be like the low close. The high close would be, way up there. Or the open and close. It's not always an open and close, obviously, because it depends if it's a bearish or bullish candle. But here's the low wick. The area on the chart that is often tested, used as support, used as resistance, not a magical area, not a magical line, but something that I like to pay attention to. I don't have a ton on my chart. The stuff I like to look at for the US indices is pre-market high and low, prior day high and low, and then horizontal levels that I identify. You can call them support and resistance, you call them order blocks, you call them supply and demand. Again, people will say, oh, no, all three of those are different categories of things. That's fine, man. Just horizontal areas of interest that I discretionarily mark. Usually, if you look at my chart, I've got a little bit more structured with them, honestly. They're coming off of a low or a high that was put in above or below price, and especially an area that's price reacted from with some force in the past. I don't really want a zone right in the middle of everything, that's, kind of been traded back and forth through, but above and below price that price may react at in the next trading session that we're looking at trading. So what's an area below this price action if I look to the left that hasn't been traded through, that's a low or a high? It's this low right here. Why is this zone so wide? I take into consideration the price action that was traded right at that zone. Some people say it's the last red candle before the move up. Sure, you could go off of that, and I do to a degree. If you looked across a number of different time frames, you'd find where that lined up. But I like to kind of encompass whatever price action I see at that zone, to be able to say the high of this zone is a level that I want to look at. The low coincides with the low traded, and then I got a middle line in there that sometimes I have and sometimes I don't. Recently, I've had it on there. If you go back and look at my videos, I don't have it on there. I'm not that particular with my zones because it's really just an area. But that's kind of how I've been working it. I like to look at the top, the middle, and the bottom of this zone. And in general, I'm not looking at this as an exact line. Even the pre-market high and the low, this is an area. Price doesn't have to respect it to the tick. It almost never does. So, you don't have to worry too much about it. Same down here. The next low that I'm looking at for the impulsive move, maybe you'd have a zone over here, but this one, kind of coincides with my zone. What I can tell you, my opinion, my personal opinion, if you're going to trade a discretionary strategy, utilizing support and resistance, and you're not going to use objective levels. Objective meaning that me and you on the same chart can identify them Monday through Friday, like highs and lows of candles. Those are objective. I'm not deciding whether or not this is the high or low. It's a fact. It's not my opinion. But for everything else, for most everything else that I'm doing, I'm using my discretion. I'm deciding, well, here's where I want to have my zone. You might have your zone somewhere else. It's fine. It's just an area to be paying attention to on the chart. It doesn't have massive predictive power. They can be used to structure risk. They can be used to start to decide when to get involved with the market, but they don't have massive predictive power. I'm not going to say, oh man, look at the low of the wick. Look at that reaction. It reacted right there. That's what always happens. It's not what always happens, man. Didn't happen over here. Didn't happen over here. Didn't happen over here or here, or here. Got close, in some of these areas. This was tested as support and resistance a number of times. Same with the VWAP line today, but maybe not tomorrow. So what I'm getting at with this rant, in my opinion, if you're going to trade a discretionary system, understand that your discretion is going to go into it. As you develop more experience through screen time, through time trading and back testing, trading on demo, you'll get a feel for how you want to mark your zones, where you want to mark your areas. Maybe you come up with a specific way, like, I've started to a little bit more. For U.S. indices specifically, again, because I came from futures, doing things a little bit differently. I'm structuring it just a little bit differently, adapting my approach a bit, mainly adapting my risk management, the way that I'm managing risk on each trade and progressively increasing risk, that dynamic risk management approach. I've adapted a little bit, but the approach is the same. The strategy is the same. Nothing's changed. Market structure and price action, man. Now I'm using some footprint, some volume, delta. That's great. Nice add in. Maybe it helps, increase my edge in the markets. Maybe it helps me manage risk a little bit better, structure my trades, where my stop loss should go. That's fine. But again, the big point here is don't sweat the small stuff. Focus on getting, stop chasing the holy grail. You hear everybody say this in trading. Stop chasing the holy grail. Stop trying to find the best indicator that's going to tell you exactly where a price is going to turn. You're never going to get it. Just forget about that. You're going to take losses. Stuff's not going to work a lot of the time. Try to get around that 50% win rate and try to make your winners a little bit bigger than your losers. If you can handle doing that, you're going to be profitable. If you aren't going to make your winners bigger than your losers, you do have to have a higher win rate. You got to be winning more trades than you're losing. If you're going to have a negative win rate where you're going to win 4 out of 10 or 3 out of 10 and lose those other trades, you better have a pretty positive risk to reward. Comes down to the personal trader's approach, the style, their personality. Do they like to sit in trades? Do they want to be in and out? They're going to scalp. All of that stuff comes into it. But understand the relationship between win rate and risk and reward and what it means for profitability. Google, risk to reward, win rate, profitability calculator, some combination of those words on Google will give you a chart, and it will show you at 1-to-1, 50% win rate, you're break even. As you go up in win rate, you don't need as high of a risk to reward. As you go down in win rate, you need a higher risk to reward. But you can start to understand with a 2-to-1 and less than, or 2 or 3-to-1 risk to reward and less than 50% win rate, less than half my trades actually win. I'm losing more than I'm winning. When I look at a percent of trades, I'm making money because I'm making more on my winners than I'm losing on my losers. So yeah, that's what I got for today, guys. I don't know where I was going with the rest of that, but I try to give you value. I try to give you what I'm thinking about. I do a little bit of word vomiting here. Try to just give you stuff that I wish that somebody early on when I was struggling and, trying to find the next fucking indicator that was going to work for me, excuse my language, or how I was going to win all of my trades. Why am I losing? I wish somebody grabbed me by the shirt and yelled some of this stuff at me early on. So if if I sound like I'm rambling on or ranting on, some of this stuff is just what I wish somebody told me. And hopefully, you find value in it and it saves you sometimes. No. So, yeah, no, I appreciate you, man. Good input, good advice. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. 2-to-1 with micros is good starting point for sure. If you said, Zach, you have to tell this new person your opinion, because no financial advice, what they should start with. What should their risk to reward be? Shoot for a 2-to-1 or maybe a 1.5-to-1 risk to reward. And I hope if you're watching this, you understand what I'm talking about. Here's a position tool, right? You get this from over here. I won't even go to my long position, short position. We opened up a long position. I'll get rid of this little one. This is profit. This is loss. Typically, it's red and green. When you adjust your stop loss, which is what you have to adjust first from wherever you're going to enter, you decide that price is making higher highs and higher lows, and it's pushing up. And it's starting to come up here. You want to enter a buy. This is very basic, but I think it's important to explain in case you don't know and you're on here or you just need a refresher. Let's say you want to get your stop loss below this low, because if it comes down here, you want to be out. You think it's less likely to work out and continue to the profit target. When you structure your risk, which is your distance between your entry to your stop loss, you then structure your profit target. Maybe you want to base it off of some price action that's over here, coming down, and this is all connected. This is all one, so don't pay attention. But you say, here's a zone, and it coincides with that low wick, and that's where I want my, my target to be. That's fine. Pay attention to your risk to reward. Let's make sure you're at least getting to a 1.5-to-1 or a 2-to-1. That ensures that even losing more trades than you win, if you take 10 trades and you win 4 and you lose 6, you're at least going to be around break even. At 1-to-1, less commissions and swaps and fees and everything you're going to pay with brokers, at 1-to-1 and a 50% win rate, you're at break even. At 2-to-1 or 3-to-1, you don't even need to win 5 out of 10 trades to make money, as long as you are actually holding these trades and letting them run either to the profit target or the stop loss. That's what I would say for a beginner. I'd say, you know what, go with a 1.5-to-1, only because you don't really even have to be great with your entries, man. You're not going to need, this great entry system to catch a really high risk to reward, which inherently will start to give you a lower win rate. But you're making your winners bigger than your losers, which is really important here. So for new guys with 50K accounts, start with 500 max loss per day and trade like 2 or 3 micros per time. Yeah, that's a good piece of input. Took me 5 years to learn the hard way. Yeah, man. Look, it's really easy, especially on these prop firms, on these prop accounts. We're getting close to 2 o'clock. I'll cut it somewhat soon, and then maybe I'll come back if I get time. Got to handle a few things, get a recap out from this morning. But on these prop accounts, guys, it can get really tempting to just YOLO it, right? Like, oh, it's $50 for a 50 or whatever. Some of them are $20 or maybe it's $100, whatever. You're like, you know what? That's not that much money, or maybe it is, but I want to pass this thing. I want to get funded. The chances of it happening, they're there, but they're much lower than if you take a more conservative approach, like this gentleman so intelligently suggested. Hit that like button for Zach. Thank you, man. Start slow, even on demo. Put the amount of money that you'd be trading with a prop firm or live capital. Don't put $500,000. Why are you doing that? And start slow with it. Put a realistic amount of risk on that you would be taking on, and watch what happens on demo if you take too many consecutive losses. Do you blow the account in a couple days when you get greedy, or you are risking 2 or 3 minis or 5 minis? Or do you size down like this gentleman just said, and you trade 2 or 3 micros, and you set yourself a max stop out, And maybe you set yourself a max consecutive loss limit. You say, hey, look, if I lose $500 or I take 3 consecutive losses in a row, I'm done trading. That's it. These are some guidelines, some guardrails you could put in early on. It's important to have some clear rules early on. This is a boundless market. It's free out here. There's no rules. You do whatever you want. I enter right now with 15 contracts and no stop loss right before FOMC. Maybe not on the prop account or certain accounts if they don't like news trading. But you get what I'm saying? You have to have some guidelines for yourself so you don't let that emotion and that, fear and greed come in and start to mess up your trading. It's important early on. So take it slow. Understand the relationship between win rate and risk and reward. Go mess with an equity simulator. You really should. Equity simulator for trading. Google that when you get off of here. You get to put in win rates, risk to reward. They're always free. You can play with it back and forth. It will run over a number of 100 trades. It will randomly run whatever win rate and risk to reward and risk per trade that you put in, the dollar amount or a percent. And it will show you, is this profitable first? Are you going to make money with these metrics? And how many, what's the drawdown look like out of 100 trades? How many consecutive losers can you expect? And what would that drawdown be for whatever you're entering as your risk per trade? Go and look at that and then start to understand if that's what you're going to do in the market. Can you sit through that normal amount that should come? It's random. It will change for every set of 100 trades. But on average, if you click the thing 5 times and you put 100 trades per, equity simulation, maybe it comes up as 5 consecutive losers. Can you sit through 5 consecutive losers, number one, just 5 consecutive losers, and keep trading normally? And can you sit through that amount of drawdown given whatever you decided you were going to risk? Maybe you said it's going to be $200 per trade or $100 per trade, like I'm doing on here. Can you sit through 5 losses and then trade that 6th one? Will you blow the account? Will you hit a daily drawdown? So, understand the math behind this stuff. You don't have to be good. You don't have to do Calc 2. The tools are all out there, but just start to understand it and, know what you're doing. Have a plan. If it's not a strategy, because I don't like to use the word strategy. I don't love the rules-based, way that's taken. Have some guidelines. Definitely have a risk management plan. You need rules for risk. You need to understand and know what you're going to do before you're doing it. You have to plan ahead of time. And then have some rules, some guidelines for entry criteria, how you're going to trade, and then approach the market with some consistency. So we're coming up on 2 o'clock. Yeah, I'll just watch it with you guys. If you want to hang out here, I appreciate you saying hit the like button, man. If you like the stream, you like the live trading, I appreciate you hanging out. I'm going to watch it for 2 o'clock. If you guys want to hang out here and watch it with me, we will. I'm not going to trade it, but we got FOMC in like 2 minutes. 2.5 minutes, so we'll watch it. I'll cut it right after that drops, and then try to get some content out, and maybe I'll come back for 3 o'clock. 2:30, Jerome Powell speaking, FOMC. How long is that FOMC press conference? If one of you guys know, let me know. The Fed. FederalReserve.gov. It's at 2:30 p.m. It's probably around a half hour. I would have to assume. If it's Yeah, Google doesn't have the answer on that one. I don't know how long the thing usually is, but I don't want to trade while he's speaking. I would want to wait till after. So, and I don't know. He takes questions, so I don't know if it's like a set amount of time. So 158. Let's watch this thing together. I'll open this up a little bit more. Let's look at this is the 5-minute chart. I'm zoomed out, just so you have a frame of reference. I'm trading with a 50 tick stop. Here's 50 ticks. Here's the movements for the day. Pretty large movements, not massive, but let's see what comes in at 2 o'clock. Again, sometimes these are really violent. Sometimes they're like pretty disappointing if you're not trading and waiting for it. But let's watch how this one develops here together, and then we'll wrap it up and maybe come back for some trading later in the day if I get some content done. And if you're still on, thanks for being here, man. Everybody in now, no, I'm just kidding. Full port contract, 15 contracts. Yeah, no, maybe don't do that. Not financial advice. Nothing here is financial advice. Read the disclaimer on my site. Let's see what we get. 20 seconds. You guys probably have some delay. There's some delay for sure on YouTube, but I do ultra low latency, so it shouldn't be that much. A little bit of reaction. I think it's gonna pump. I don't know why. Oh, if I had to guess, I'm gonna go pump. Apex 50K is 10 contracts, man. Can't do 15. Not fair. Only got 14 available. Yes, I think in the challenge on the top step, like the max is 15. I don't know. I'm never gonna get close to it. And then there's a scaling plan, which also is fine for me. I'm not going to trade that big a size. I'm not going for huge, huge profits. You got to be able to put some size on trading really small time frames. But so let's see. I said pump just randomly once that had started to turn down. So I had an unfair advantage there. But so far, big movement to the upside. We're talking a 235 tick, 58, 59 point candle. As you can see, this is why we pay attention to news in general. You want to know when there's going to be an increase in volatility, potentially, and be aware of that. But let's see. A lot of times you get a huge wick up and then the thing just drops out. So far, it looks like it's digesting this pretty positively. We did see, a quick, maybe 50 tick. I'm not sure exactly what this candle started at. Right here. Maybe 40, 50 ticks to the downside first. That could have been enough to take you out if you tried to buy on this. But here we go, trading back and forth, 135, ticks. I'm sure Dow is going to look somewhat similar. Oh. And now all the way back down. Are we going to put a lower low in on this candle? Markets will move during and after press conference. Yeah. No, 100%, man. They're going to move now, right? This is the data release. They're going to move until 2:30, and then once the conference starts going, he starts yapping. People hang on it. I've watched it, obviously, quite a bit over the years. Sometimes it's uneventful and it kind of just chops around. Sometimes it runs one way. Sometimes it starts to run one way and then dumps the other way. They get asked questions. That's why I don't know how long it is. I don't know if it's a set amount of time, if he takes a certain amount of questions. I'd like to know until after they're completely done, because that's when I'd like to get involved with the market. Yeah, it's not a consistent reaction. It's people processing the data and people processing another person's response. So people are pretty damn irrational. Things can be interpreted in many different ways and, then acted on and then have an impact in the financial market. So it's no certainty for this type of stuff. But yeah, kind of a big push up and now all the way back down to the start. So it didn't run. We're only 3 minutes after. So, who knows? But I think it's better to wait. The key comments, FX reacted a bit now, but stock markets should wait a bit for sure. Let's look at like the euro. There you go. Big movement in the euro. Not huge, not relatively, like not absolutely huge, but pumping a bit. Trading View absolutely lagging out on me here. Wow, big time lag. Yeah, so like, definite big move, but not as big as it could have been. Who knows? This could still run at any moment or dump at any moment. Obviously, a large amount of volume, a large bar that's printed. If you look at it on the 1 minute, we got some pretty gnarly price action when you look at how that's actually shaping up on the 1 minute. Big overlapping bars. Not a super clear decision with a quick run and pump up, but interesting to see. So, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. I appreciate you jumping on. Not financial advice, no suggestions or recommendations to do anything. You know the drill with that. Read the disclaimer. Ended a little bit of profit here. Started at 0, ran it into profit, back down, and then back up to about 1R. Again, if I was risking, about that $200 to $300 to start. Nothing stellar. Didn't get to build a lot of buffer, but I'll look maybe to come back and trade after FOMC if I got some time. If I do trade, I'll throw it on live and I will put it in Telegram. And if you're subscribed, you should get the alert. So thanks for jumping on, guys. Have a great day. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. If you like the stuff, feel free to like, feel free to subscribe, join the free Telegram. If not, don't. No problem, man. No pressure. That's the way I approach this stuff. But I'm here, happy to help out, happy to answer questions if I can. If you want to trade live with me every day through Zoom, you want to talk to me, you want to chew my ear off and say, why is trading so hard, Zach? I can't figure this stuff out. I can't hold my winning trades, and I keep holding my losers. That's stuff we could all work on. I'm happy to help you out with that. I have programs. Check it out in my free Telegram, and look at the paid programs that I do offer. Again, disclaimer on everything on my site. No financial advice. Trading's risky. Most traders lose money. You probably shouldn't trade, man. It's wild out here. I mean, look at this stuff. Jerome Powell wrecking everybody's accounts. But again, thanks guys for being here, and maybe I will see you in an hour and a half or so. Talk to you guys later.